What's up everyone? Welcome back to the workshop. With the assembly complete, I just have a couple of finishing steps for you today. If you recall, I cut this panel slightly oversized for an easier install. Everything ended up being square and true, so I'm going to end up removing all of this material, but I'm glad I had it just in case. I'm going to use a flush trim router bit. This router bit has a guide bearing and it will follow along the lower piece of wood and remove the excess material. I'm going to do this in multiple shallow passes to avoid bogging down the router or heating the bit up too much. I've used a lot of screws and a lot of nails to hold this thing together. So we're going to fill those holes. I'm using Bondo spot glazing putty. I do like this product because it's easy to sand and the color changes as it sands. It becomes a little lighter so you can tell where things are still recessed. The screw holes sometimes need 2 coats, but these finishing nail holes generally only take 1 coat. I use 60 grit sandpaper to take off the excess. I don't recommend this product if you plan on doing a wood finish or a stain. The fine dust particles get embedded into the wood grain and it'll kind of leave an orangish tint. But since I'm going to paint this, I think it's the perfect product for the job. Easy to apply, easy to sand. And the final woodworking step I'll be doing is I'm going to round over the corners. For this, I used a 3/8 inch round over bit, also on the router. Not only does this look good, but I also think it makes the edges less prone to damage. And now it's time to paint. I'm using a high build textured paint called Duratex. It's much thicker than typical paint. It's almost like a pudding consistency. It is challenging to get a streak-free finish with this. If you have some scrap wood, I recommend you practicing on that ahead of time so you can see what kind of texture you're after. I'm really loading this textured roller with a ton of paint, and I think most importantly is I'm not using any pressure. I'm really just rolling it on and letting the paint come off. If you apply any amount of pressure, really, you'll probably end up with streaks. I'll keep a wet edge as I paint along the panel. When I make it to the end, I'll do a very, very light roll back across the entire painted surface. It's going to take at least 2 coats, sometimes even 3, and each coat I'll do perpendicular to the last one. It's really useful to have some angled light hitting this. If you can see roller marks while it's wet, they're probably not going to disappear for you when it dries. You really have to resist the temptation to overwork this paint. It can change it from the orange peel texture that I'm after to something that's a lot more rough and almost like sandpaper. I've also used another product called Exo-Hide, which is very similar. That was easier to get a clean finish with, but I find it to be not nearly as durable. It might be a good solution for something like a home hi-fi build or a permanent install, but I really don't think it's going to live up to life on the road. This sub cabinet needs to be airtight, so the handles and the access hatch will get gasket tape. The strip that I'm using is about 1/2 inch wide and maybe 1/16 of an inch thick, but really anything will do. You can even use window gasket tape that you can pick up at a hardware store. And that's it for the finishing work. Next up, we're going to install the driver and do the wiring and close it up. Thanks for following along.